there's four roles in every movie, in every story, in everything that you've ever watched, right? There's the victim, the villain, the guide, and the hero. And it's super hard for everybody right now to get out of victim mode, right? Or villain mode, because this is happening to us. We're losing jobs, people are getting sick, and we all feel a victim to this virus, right? And it doesn't help. Being a victim doesn't help anybody. You're not leading anybody through it. You're just feeling sorry for yourself, and you're hoping that someone comes and rescues you from your victimhood. A villain is, we see that in people being, crass with each other, people being rude, people in their shopping centers getting in fights. People are harmed and they want other people to feel harmed. People, can't get their SBA loan. They don't want other people to get their SBA loan, right? There's the villain coming out in people. And I'd say that, we're seeing a lot of victim and villains in our society today. We're not seeing a lot of our heroes and guides, right? And this is what the art of homeownership, and this is why I love Donald Miller so much, and that's why we created the platform, is we become our own hero, right? So we step up in the face of this. We say, look, we're going to lead us through this. We have a plan. I have a strategy. I have, a way that we're going to get through this, right? And I lead my team. I lead my clients. I lead my family. I lead myself, right? I become the hero in my own book. But to everyone else, right, I need to be the guide. So when I'm saying I'm leading people through this, the guide is the person who says, look, I have a plan for you. Like, the last thing that you want to do is call your client and say, hey, how's everything going? Like, what's your plan? What are you going to do? Like, what? It's like a basketball coach saying, hey, you guys want to go win the championship? Yep. Okay, cool. How are we going to do that? Like, really? You're the coach, right? Like, so being an art of homeownership partner means you're committing to being the guide to all of your clients and all of your future clients, right? Every human being that wants to become an art of homeownership member in your world, you're going to be their guide, and you're going to help them get through, their whole real estate and financial life to create generational wealth and avoid bad decisions and avoid mishaps and mistakes and crises. So, there was a saying that is on some shows right now, and we're seeing it around, but it's never waste the opportunities that a crisis presents. It's usually used in political terms, which is unfortunate. But this crisis presents an opportunity for us to become the guide for our clients. So a big part of our platform is the succession planning. I mean, when you look at, as real estate professionals and as mortgage professionals, these are the 10 areas in which this helps your business. But number 9 is incredibly impactful. And if you're trying to figure it out now, okay, well, look, if I can use this to build a brand as a leader, as a thought leader, as someone who provides incredible value, as someone who is changing the way that real estate and mortgages are done. If I can do that now and put that plan in place, I'll be that much closer to be able to succession plan this thing, because the brand will be known for more than just me. The brand will be known for the actions it took during this time, right? So you have the opportunity to do that. You can go through all these things, right? You can go into, every person you talk to, and you don't have to talk about commissions or interest rates or costs or fees, because you help them manage from where they are today to the transaction down the line, right? So your conversion will go up drastically. Your database engagement, right? That's how you create the following that allows you to succession plan. It allows you to turn the keys over to a family member or somebody who's going to buy your practice and say, hey, look, I've put in all the work. I put the bricks in the right place. All you have to do is just make sure the house, stands still and keeps growing a little bit. Enhanced lead generation, right? Right now, lead generating, we saw on those 2 slides, it's down 50%, right? So, and a lot of us don't lead generate direct to consumer at a high level anyways, right? So now you can lead generate to every human being that's roughly 25 years or older, right? You can adopt every person who wants to buy a house, who owns a home, and you can add the value to them. You can definitely create a more meaningful partnership with your realtors and your lenders as on the call. Your alternative business partner acquisition can go through the roof right now. So if you don't have a lot of CPAs, financial planners, estate planning attorneys, use this time of crisis to reach out to people and say, hey, I'm doing this in the community. I'm doing that in the community. I'm talking to these clients. I'm helping these people. I'm helping my database. Do you want to be a part of it? I'm going to interview you. I'm going to have you come on. I'd love to learn about your practice. Love to learn how you help your clients. Love to see if you want to be a part of this. I like CPAs, even though they're busy right now, they should be interested in growing, hopefully. Financial planners, absolutely. Estate planning attorneys, 100%. Family law practices, definitely. Contractors, like, you can go grow this subsector of your business right now. And even though you may not be able to do a lot of transactions today, you're building the blocks to where you can then turn the keys over and say, oh, by the way, here's the 15 professionals I work with in these categories that will never leave, even if you take over, because of the relationship and the continuity and the amount of business we pass back and forth. That's a block you want to put in place today, right? And then corporate affiliations. Imagine how many companies right now that are reeling, trying to give their organizations as much information they can. The CARES Act came out that helps with, some medical insurance, some capabilities of them pulling money out of IRAs or 401ks. But imagine a company being able to say, hey, look, to every single one of our employees, you're now going to be an Art of Home Ownership member. You're going to get all 6 of these services. Don't worry, nobody's selling you anything. No, there's no commitment to this. It doesn't cost you anything. We just want to help you with your real estate and your finance in any way that we can. And for some of you who've been on some of our previous Art of Home Ownership calls, you saw the webinar that we did where on CNBC, they basically said that the companies or the organizations that help their employees thrive in real estate and finance and become more embedded in the real estate and financial community are going to have the highest return on investment and actually create a much bigger profitability. So, with our Facebook partnership, we're now taking that to organizations all over the place and saying, hey, look, this is a great time for you to do this. I know some of your employees are displaced, or most of them are displaced. It's a great thing for you to offer. Like, that is something where someone comes to buy my practice and I say, by the way, Facebook is a partner of ours, XYZ Manufacturing, Alphion, Allergan, like these companies that we work with, they're never going to leave, right? You have that captive audience. So it's the succession plan really kicks in. You're not going to have to work till you're 75. I won't go into the next one. Direct to consumer is huge. New market penetration is big, but this is a time where you can be the guide for every single one of those things we just talked about, right? And you have a platform that allows you to deliver it and be able to offer it. All right, being mindful of time here. I'm just going to kind of blow through these and I'll get to the last thing. So what do we need to do to win right now? A lot of times what we try and do on these calls is, train the entire person, not just necessarily the nuts and bolts of Art of Home Ownership. So the first thing I would say is accept that we're in an Ironman right now, right? Like, this is not a 5K. This is not a charity run. We may be in this we may be in our homes through, end of May, beginning of June. It could be through July. We don't know, right? So what we can't do is be small. We have to realize, all right, if we're in an Ironman, this is what the new thing is, and we're on, X number of mile of our marathon. We still have the swim and the bike and everything else to go, or whatever the order of those go in. We need to know that we need to be doing things right now through the Art of Home Ownership that allow us to get to the end of the race. If we think this needs to be over in a couple of weeks, I think we're kidding ourselves. So understand that we can push this content out now. Choose to listen to your positive voice. There's a ton of negativity. There's a lot of scarcity. There's a lot of uncertainty. Some of it is warranted and some of it is not, right? So stay positive. The more positive you are, the more positive your team will be, your clients, your partners, and so forth. Focus on what you can control. I talk about that daily. We know that one thing we can do is we can adopt new clients right now, right? We may not be able to put them into a house. We may not be able to give them a mortgage, but we can help the clients we have at a high level, and we can adopt new clients and give them the help that they deserve, that other real estate agents and other mortgage professionals are not giving them. If we can control that, if we can control the value we give, everything I promise you is going to work out just fine, if not much better than fine. Limit news consumption, just consume positive content. I make that a focus of ours as often as we possibly can. Accept that this is hard, and in the face of it, realize it's hard for everybody. So the better you deal with it, the better the opportunities are for you on the other side. Expect success and personal growth. I mean, I wake up every day really excited to take on this challenge because I know that not many people think that way. And I also know that I have a tool with the Art of Home Ownership that not many people have, right? This is a limited release platform. Like, very few loan officers in the country, very few real estate agents in the country are going to have access to this. Right? So I have a tool that other people don't have. So I do expect to grow in the face of challenging times where other people probably don't have that expectation. Keep asking yourself, what do you need to do to be at a level 5? So on a scale of 1 to 5, from an energy perspective, like, what do you need to be doing? Right? Stay focused on your health and your wellness and your mindfulness. But keep asking yourself, if you're not at a 5, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling lethargic, it could be because you're watching social media too much. It could be because you're consuming too many fearful news articles. So try and stay focused on that. Again, know that the virus is the enemy, not your negative voice. Embrace being the most important leadership moment of your life. We talked about that multiple times throughout this call. this really is the time for you to step up and, create the brand and, do something that you've never done, transform it to something that you've always wanted to be, right? Like, let's change the industry right now. And we can do that. We can push every other real estate agent and every other mortgage professional out of the business that is not extremely valuable, or they have to be the cheapest, right? Like, we can do that today. I don't know if we could have done that 5 weeks ago, right? Because there was just so much business happening left and right that we couldn't get the eyeballs. Well, for the next 60 to 90 days, we're going to get the eyeballs. We're going to get the attention. We'll have the opportunity to take this and really drive into it, right? So lead into this moment and don't be fearful of it. Embrace being an extreme leader. Kind of talk about that. Your number one job is your health. Planning always precedes success. So make sure your schedule's dialed in. Make sure you're utilizing all 6 of the services, especially for all the partners on the platform. Like, ask yourself every day, how am I getting this message out? How am I connecting with more people? How am I showing people that I'm going to help be the guide to lead them through this thing? Pacing is key. I struggle with that right now, but trying to get better at it. Make sure you're not working 24 hours a day, which you can because you're at home. Workouts, try and work out 6 times a week. Ask yourself, how can I impact others? And then be ready to carry your friends and family to the finish line. This is great. Share with your team, share with your partners, share with your family, all good things to just know that this is difficult. You can get through it. These are some things that will help you ultimately get to the other side.